Hey y'all, welcome back. Today we're going to get back into the next 4 issues of Build the Ghostbusters Ecto-1 by Fanholm, and it's going to be stages 11 through 14. Let's get to it. Alright, so just a quick recap of where we are. We have been working on the engine. This is where it's at so far. I went ahead and I did just a kind of a quick oil paint wash over it with some grime. I'll probably do a little bit more to it. I picked out some of the bolts with some silver and stuff, and I was able to find the piece that pinged off onto the floor and attach that. So we are going to be adding more to that. We have another bit of engine to do, and then I think we're going to start working on the kind of on the springs and wheel and a bit of the undercarriage. So anyway, so this is the magazine. As usual, we've got what we're doing today. We're going to be putting in all kinds of fun stuff. We get the first section of the undercarriage, and then we're doing some the brakes and that sort of thing. So anyway, so the magazine goes through, talks about what we're doing and when we're doing it, and then it kind of gets into the series of Ghostbusters films. Excited for the new one, and then this is what we got coming out next time. Looks like more wheels and undercarriage stuff, and probably some more of the engine compartment. Anyway, all right. Oh, and along with us, we get a nifty Ecto-1 hat that comes as a free gift. So, all right. So. Alright, stage 11 starts with the power steering pump and the crankshaft pulley. Let's get this opened up and see what we see. Okay, first thing we do, these two pieces are plastic. We are attaching this piece onto here. There's a pin that holds that together, and that goes on into these two holes with 2 BP screws. Alright, that's the second one. Oops. Alright, that piece goes into here. Little notch lines it up. And then on this, you get this little pulley cover and this one that says 11E on it. It goes over the top of that. And then that goes into, it's held in with an EP screw. Okay. And then little filler cap goes onto here. And that's just pressure fit on. Now, this whole thing comes over and it gets attached to here using 2 FP screws. Okay. And then there's this little bracket on the back side here. This hole here, and it goes in here and connects down to here. Alright, that was very squirrely, but that's how that's supposed to look. It doesn't seem like it should go the way it's going, but it's in there. Next thing to do is we put this little guy, just slide him over the top there. And we take the 11K with the 11J and the 11I. Alright, and that is going to go over the top of this with a GM screw. And I have dipped that screw into oil because it's going into metal. That aids in that. Alright, so that is all there is to do in that stage. Alright, engine 12, we have the engine fan cooling pipes, we've got spark plug wires, and we've got some belts. Alright, let's get looking at this. Alright, and at the time that I put this on last time, I thought to myself, you know, at some point we're going to be putting the spark plug wires on, and it's going to be so much easier to get to them without that being on there. So that's why I took that off. Anyway. Alright, let's get to this. First thing we're doing is we're making another pulley. So, very much like we did last time, we set this all up so that there are two channels for pulleys. And this is going onto this one, like that. Is that right? Yeah. Yes, that is right. So that's going on like that, and then the fan is actually going to be going on here as well. And that... Next thing we're going to be doing is attaching some belts. So we have one belt that goes into the pulley slots closest to the engine, and this is going to go around the generator here. And then the other one goes into the slots closest to the front, closest to the fan, and this is going around this side. I'll have to fuss with that to make sure it's not twisted around, even though it's never going to actually pull anything. You want it to look right. All right, so that's that. Now, the next thing we're going to be doing is going to be putting in the all the spark plug wires. So the spark plug wires are going to be going from the spark plugs into the little holders here, and then attach to the distributor cap. The thing that I've noticed after building the DeLorean was that these little spark plug plastic tubes are just so floppy, and they just go everywhere. So what I'm doing is I'm putting a little piece of brass wire into them, getting it so that it's just a smidge shorter than the tube. Snipping it off, and then one side of this will go into this first one. They just have you putting it into these as they go along. So the longest, and then there are shorter ones that'll be going along. I'm of the mind that there's a specific order that they should be going in, and at some point I will look that up and fix all these. So I'm going to go ahead and get all these wires in, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I've just attached this long wire to this front piece here. These extra blue wires between the generator and this down here, and then there's a spot way inside here that this guy goes, and he just hangs down. And then this one also just kind of comes around the back and hangs down as well. I'm just going to tuck that in. Alright, now I'm going to put the air filter back on the top, and that is all there is to do in that stage. I'm sorry, that's not all there was to do in that stage. There was two more hoses to attach, this one up here and this one down here. And that's all there is to do in that stage. Alright, so in stage 13, we've got the front parts of the chassis. Alright, this is all metal. We have a couple of little plastic parts. This piece goes in here, like this, held in with EM screws here. And then this piece goes right down here and is also held in with an EM screw. Alright, and with those two pieces attached with screws, that's all there is to do in that stage. Okay. And in pack 14, we've got the left front suspension and brake drum. Let's get all this opened up and see what we got. Alright, so the first thing we're going to be doing is taking the lower suspension arm and attaching this little piece to it with the little button facing up. This is going to be attached either side here with EM screws. That's number 2. And now the next thing we're going to be doing is attaching this little point into here with a very tiny GP screw from the backside. I'm going to be taking the other arm and attaching this piece to this, again using EM screws. Then we're going to be attaching this piece, it looks like this way around, again EM screws in either end here. The oil really helps on the metal screws. Right. We're going to be taking our frame part that we had from last time. Looking at it like this, this is going over on the left hand side, so this piece here is going to be going over these 2 points like that, and then screwed in on the underside from here and here with HM screws. Going to be going over the top of this, held in with these brackets, which will go over somehow. There we go. Those brackets are held in with IM screws. Alright, and that's how that works. That's all secured. Set this aside for just a moment. We're going to get the brake drum pieces out. this is metal. These two pieces are plastic. So yes, so that goes around. Okay, so these two pieces. These two holes line up with these two. That goes in like that. And then these are held in from this side with EM screws. So that's set. This piece will then go over the top of this in that sort of orientation. And then it gets held in on this side with 3 HP screws. And this is going to be what? This. All right. That's on top. Okay. Like this, and we put something. We put an IM screw, after this is compressed down, we put an IM screw through here into that. Alright, well, that was easier than the first side, I will say that. Okay, and it does turn. Alright, next thing we do is we put this guy, this piece, there is a bit of a notch here that goes into. We'll go through the hole on the underside and line up with this little guy, and that we screw in with an HM screw. Even these tiny little screws. Alright, that seems to be looking pretty good. Then, that's that. Okay, now put this aside for just a minute. We're going to be taking the steering rack, which looks very similar on either side. Okay, so these holes are pointing up. There is a hole right here. This gets attached to this with this side pointing downwards, and that gets screwed together there with an HM screw, just like that. And then this is going to be going on the underside like this, and then it gets attached right here with a flanged KM screw. Okay. But loose enough that this will still turn. And that, my friends, is all there is to do in that stage. And that is all there is to do in this pack. Alright, another pack done. So we've did this much of the frame, which is kind of cool. The engine feels like it's 90% done. I'll probably still go in with a little bit of paint. Fuss with that a bit. Looks like next time we're getting another set of brakes and stuff for the other side here. Looks like we might get a firewall or something, and another wheel, and maybe some stuff to put the engine in. So that could be fun. All right. Hopefully we will be back in a couple of weeks once they send the next set of parts. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Anyway, if you liked it, go ahead and please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.